G'day, mates. So, this is final election week before the Super Tuesday. So, today I'm recording this on Monday, the 26th. So, tomorrow is the Michigan primary. This is a open primary in which Democrats can participate, but the Democrat primary has already been had, I believe. I should really check that actually. So, let's go green papers. No, that's tomorrow as well. So there's going to be two primaries at the same time, so the amount of crossover vote is limited at best. Then, starting March 1st, which would be Friday, Friday all the way to Sunday, is the primary for the District of Columbia, which is a closed primary, but there's only about 2,500 people voting in the Republican primary, so that shouldn't really take a long time to count. But it's Washington, D.C., so there's probably going to be a lot of backroom dealings there. Then on Saturday, you have the Idaho Caucus, the Michigan Caucus, and the Missouri Caucus. And then coming Monday would be the North Dakota Caucus. So, those are all closed caucuses. Awesome, right? So, here you go. I've also checked the polling. RCP 538, and I should check Wikipedia for the ones that I don't have. Which I can do. I'll just switch those around. So, we have this. Michigan, at the moment, it's about 80 to 18 for Trump. Regarding this, which means, effectively, with the threshold, and I'll just open it here, 12.5% threshold, any leftover delegates gets added to the winner, but the remainder is always rounded down. So let's say the performance, right? So Trump gets not even 80%, just slightly under that. That means 12.7 delegates, which was rounded down to 12. And thus the remainders would be added to Trump. Now Haley gets 18% of the vote, which would be 2.8. Well, sorry, but that's rounded down. So that's 2 delegates. So Trump gets, of the 16 which are available for the primary, he gets 14 to Haley's 2. The caucus, which happens on Saturday, allocates electoral vote or delegates in the basis of a simple majority. So per congressional district, whoever gets the majority gets all delegates. If you don't have a majority, you get 2 delegates, in case you get a plurality, and the number 2 gets 1 delegate. So either it's a 2-to-1 split, or it's a 3-to-0 split in the favor of Trump. So in this particular case, I'm just going to say it, Trump is probably going to get every single one of them. Now, Washington, D.C., does not have any polling, and I can't find anything for Idaho, nor can I find anything for Missouri that isn't literally a year old. So there's nothing really much that I can do based on polling. Having said that, it would be wise to assume that it performs on the basis of, well, the national polling. So, real clear, I'll go to the GOP national average. Trump is polling at 77, Haley at 15. Slightly over 15. Now, North Dakota has a 20% threshold. Or in the case you get above 60, you get everything. Missouri, well, we already discussed that. Simple majority, if you get a majority, you get all the delegates. So it's a winner-take-all provision here, but otherwise it would be proportional as long as you get 15% of the vote. Idaho, if you get a majority, you get everything, so it's the same thing as Missouri. And DC, it's if you get a majority, you get all delegates, otherwise it's proportional. So, results last time around. Idaho was won by Cruz in a 45 to 28 margin. In 2020, it was 95% Trump. So now I'm just going to split the difference in that particular issue. So there is technically a contested primary. I think Trump is going to get about 60% of the vote, which means he gets everything. Now, North Dakota. In 2016, there wasn't a primary nor a caucus. It was just the state legislature coming together to split the vote, essentially, or split the delegates, in which case it was 18 delegates for Trump and 11 for Cruz. In 2020, there was no primary, in which case everything was assigned to Trump for 29. Now there is a caucus, and let's just be honest, Trump is definitely going to run away with that. He's going to get a majority, which means he gets essentially all delegates. It's probably going to be above a 60% margin. If it isn't, then let's say Trump gets 58. You got this. So that's this multiplied by 29. Round down. Alright, I forgot that. Yeah, fuck off. There you go. And we do Haley. Haley would then get the remainder. So let's say Haley gets about 40%. So you get those two. No, we did take this into account. So it's 20. So 2 remainders would go for Trump. So that's 18 to 11 split. In the case that Trump doesn't get the margin he's needing. Well, he's definitely going to get that, so there's probably going to be 29 for Trump, so I'm just going to fill that in, which would be 168 delegates. And then Washington, D.C., last time around, it was John Kasich had 37%, Ted Cruz had 33, I believe, and then Trump had somewhere in the 26, 27 points margin, I think. 2020, he was uncontested. And now, definitely, I think the Cruz camp is going to Trump. So, Trump is going to get a majority. Which means he gets everything. So, this is the state. I'm just going to move this around again. Here you go. New Hampshire, apparently, there was a switch in delegates. So, that's 9-13 was officially tallied. So, with Michigan, you get 14. And the first day, so that's tomorrow, 14-2. Expected could be that because this is an open primary, that a lot of Democrats are going to go in which case, let's say with South Carolina, it's going to be a 60-40 margin. Then it's going to be an 11 to, wait a minute. Mathematics, when you're running low on fumes, isn't really doing anything for you. So 9 gets rounded down, 6 gets rounded down, and the remaining delegate goes to Trump. So that would be a 10-6. That's the bare minimum for Trump. The maximum would be 14-2. So let's keep it at the maximum for this, so that it aligns itself with polling. So that would be this. Washington, D.C. would be all Trump, as is Idaho. The remainder for Michigan all goes to Trump. And little bit mistake of my part. Missouri and North Dakota. It could be that North Dakota is taking the place right now, but when it comes to actually allocating the delegates itself, same with Missouri, by the way, that it does the counting of it, and I can check it again. So we have North Dakota. So we have the caucus is on the 4th. However, the slate of delegates will be presented in April. So technically you have the delegates, but not quite. And with Missouri, it's I want to say the same story. So you go, yeah, Missouri Republican, and here it is the 4th of May. But then technically speaking, the precinct caucuses happens on the 2nd. So it's a little bit of a split there. So what happens here is you get a precinct caucus. Then a congressional district caucus, and then at the end, on May the 4th, everything gets counted. It's a real stupid system, because normally you just do everything on the same day, but that's just how it goes with the Republican Party. Aren't really consistent in the rulings. So, at that particular case, we have Trump at 297, Haley at 22. And then when Super Tuesday comes around, and I'll do Super Tuesday next week, because then it's really fun, because most of the states have a winner-take-all provision, like California, or it's a, you need to get 2/3, which in many cases Trump will get, in order to get all the delegates, or in some cases it's, you get all the delegates if your opponent isn't receiving 20% of the vote, which is also possible in some cases. So most of these states on Super Tuesday are closed primaries, or caucuses. I actually have that also written down. So, no, I haven't. Well, shit. I'll do it next week. Fine. So this is the state of the race at the moment. Trump is running away with it, and at this point there's probably going to be a map akin to Ronald Reagan. Fucking landslide. So, at this position, I actually think it's more fun to count or calculate what the chances are of Nikki Haley even winning a state. I think that would be a more fun way to count this. But in the end, it doesn't really matter. So, thank you kindly for watching. This is probably the last video that I'm recording for this week. I had some videos saved up for the weekend, so kind of that there's no gap in content. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just move up the schedule, because technically speaking they are already recorded, they're already uploaded. It's just that I have them scheduled for Saturday and Sunday. So I'll just move them up instead. So you still get videos all the way up to Friday. It's just Call of Duty, which probably not a lot of people want to watch. So, but it's something that I want to do for fun. Thank you kindly for watching. Like the video if you did. Subscribe if you do. Subscribe if you want to. It's completely free. You're awesome for doing this. So I am going to start continuing to work on a documentary. But at the same time, I'm also going to do some changes regarding the overlay that you're seeing here. So the camera position is probably going to stay the same, but I want to do some other things. And I want to do a little test. The test in question is a real fun one, because I want to see, because there's a music recognition system. But if it doesn't work with MIDI content, then I would just have MIDI as a background music. Because that's pretty cool. And music kind of also helps me with getting my train of thought in line. So that would help a lot to prevent rambling. Alright. That's it for the update for the week, I guess. Thank you kindly for watching. See you next week. And, oh, by the way, before I'm forgetting, the Doom videos, they had an extremely low bitrate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to re-record those. But when it comes to Doom, not a single playthrough is the same. My tactics are the same, but the entire content itself isn't. So I'm just going to add them right to it. So the other videos remain. I'm just gonna, because that's what, half my views on the channel. For at least post return to YouTube. So I'm gonna keep those videos around. I'm just gonna keep the title the same. I'm just gonna do a fixed for bitrate issues and leave it at that. So you get 2 playthroughs for no cost whatsoever. Because I play Doom basically anytime I don't have anything else to do. So, cheers. Thank you kindly for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.